Hey guys, I hope you're excited for today's video. Today we are going to be talking about how to start your own investment portfolio. The way that I started, at least, is I basically took in a huge list of stocks, did a bunch of research, and it was complicated and confusing. I want you to avoid some of the rookie mistakes that people make, so I'm making a series on everything from picking your first stock to buying your first stock. Now to start, I'm going to rewind 4 years back to when I was starting my first investment portfolio. Time travel in 3, 2, 1. There's just so many companies though. Let's just get started and see what there is. Okay, does Google host stock? Yeah. Sears, Macy's, Dillers, Apple, Amazon, Google, Netflix, Carnival Cruise Line. Whoa, there's just so many. They keep on going.
This is just overwhelming.
Why are people even buying these? It makes no sense.
It's just confusing. I have literally 50 stocks open in 50 different tabs. Like, what the?
I was overwhelmed a bit, so I decided to rewind a bit to when I was 10 years old. I had a flashback to when I was in a car when I asked my mom what a stock was. I remember she specifically told me, you invest in companies that you think have potential. An example of a stock could be Snail Racing Company, a company that races snails. Yes, snail.
On your mark, get set, slither!
They think they're going to be a multi-billion-dollar corporation. For snail racing, would you invest your money in that? No. Unless you're SpongeBob, back on top. But when pondered with the difference between a good and a bad company, I realized the fact that you want your money in a good company, making quality product. I revisited the fact that every single one of the companies on that list had a thesis. And the number one biggest mistake that new investors make is that they invest without a thesis. They see that China camera company went up 50% yesterday upon the release of no news, so they decide to buy into China camera company. And then all of a sudden the next day, China camera company is down 25%. But wait, what is a thesis?
Aren't those things only for English papers?
No. A thesis actually can be used when you're investing. In fact, it's very useful. According to Google, a thesis is a one-sentence statement that expresses the main idea of a research paper or essay, such as an expository essay or argumentative essay. It makes a claim directly answering a question. So while you're not going to be writing a research paper, you are going to be doing research and making a prediction. So that makes it more of a hypothesis. Hypo plus a thesis. A hypothetical situation. Hypothetical thesis. A prediction. So basically, it's like a hypothesis in a science experiment, where you're predicting one change in a behavior or a change in a company or a new product in a company will create growth. Theses can be based off of predicting that a new CEO will make a company turn around and that they will be able to avoid bankruptcy, or the fact that one product will change the way the world will function.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone, and we are calling it iPhone.
And can become hugely profitable. Or it even can be based off of a trend, such as the fact that electronic vehicles are being used more widespread, or the fact that AI is going to have more widespread uses in the future. Investing with a thesis can cut out some bad investment choices, such as finding the cheapest stock and buying it because it's cheap. Hertz Car Company is super cheap. It's only like $1 a share, $20 a share 3 months ago. Something's wrong with that pricing, so I'm just going to go buy into it and hope that I make a profit. Hertz doubled in price yesterday.
That means that I can buy and hold it and make millions.
Don't do that. Investing with a thesis would be more saying, oh, you know, I saw that Sports Authority went out of business because their management was horrible. So then you realize that Dick's Sporting Goods has a huge potential to take all the customers from Sports Authority. And that could potentially double their customer base and give them much more profit. So you buy stock in Dick's Sporting Goods. That's a thesis. A thesis could be the fact that Home Depot and Lowe's have continuously grown over the past 10 years. You know that they haven't changed much in their company, but they are needed. Home Depot can't be overtaken by Amazon because when people are building houses and renovating their houses, they need their parts really quick. So what I did when I was 14 is I made a list of 50 different stocks, and each stock in that list had an individual thesis for why I thought it could grow in the future. I completely ignored the share price because the amount of shares of a stock you have doesn't matter. I looked at the value of the company and questioned if I would be comfortable having my money there. If I had a strong thesis and answered yes to the question that I would be comfortable keeping my money there, I would add that stock to the list. That list of stocks was so large that I couldn't invest in every single company. One of the biggest mistakes people can make is seeing a super expensive stock and deciding not to invest in it because it's super expensive. The amount of shares of a stock you have does not matter. You bought into Amazon stock in 2016, it would have been between $500 and $700 a share. If you look at the price of Amazon stock now, it's $2,000 a share, meaning that you would have tripled your money between 2016 and 2020. If you compared that to BlackBerry stock, those companies were cheap, but they remained flat. In contrast, if you compare it to AMD, because I had a thesis for AMD and understood that there was actual growth potential because their CEO changed and the fact that their processors were starting to get an advantage and they were starting to get better, I saw that there could be a turnaround in that company. And because of that, it has grown. If you're looking for different ways to make a thesis, I made a video, which was on the segment last week called Ticker Symbol Tuesday. I talked about Salesforce, and I made an entire thesis on why I thought it would go up. If you want a super strong thesis, go watch a couple of videos from a YouTube channel called Solving the Money Problem. He elaborates on his point of view on Tesla. He makes one of the strongest theses I have heard. I suggest that you should go check both of those videos out. And for things that I like to include in my theses, check out my video on things that you should know before you start researching stocks. All three of those videos are going to be in the information card right up here where there's the I button. If you click on that, you can get to those videos. Now, the whole point of creating a thesis is to create a high probability setup, and that is buying stocks that give you a higher probability of reaching profitability compared to randomly picking stocks just like you would in an index fund. Now, the reason you create a stock list is you put as many stocks as you can on it as possible, with as wide of a variety of DCs as you want. The end result will be a large list of stocks. But what you can do with that is you can slowly chisel that list down and remove stocks that you don't want to buy. Eventually, you will probably have 5 to 10 stocks left, or maybe even 1 or 2. And those stocks should be companies that you really want to invest in, and the companies that you think can grow the most. Once you've done that, and you've done your fair share of research, then you can buy your stocks. But when you're investing, always remember to use a thesis. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something very valuable from this video. Comment down below and tell me what the most valuable thing you learned from this video. I hope I inspired you to become great. Something that a lot of people forget to understand is that everybody has a starting place. And building a powerful foundation may seem tedious, but in the end, that hard work will pay off. Always keep trying, and I promise you, one day you will succeed. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share it with someone who you think would like it. I hope you have a fabulous rest of the day, and peace.